Good morning. It's been a while. I had kind of a rough winter, to be honest. Didn't get around to taking... Oh, pigs, it's just me. They don't like that I'm wearing a hat. Didn't get around to taking all the videos off my phone, so I couldn't take new videos. But here we are. It's spring. We are in the wood field, or the upper field. It's mid-late May 22nd, and I'm only just now getting my fava beans in the ground. There's a story, and I'll tell you that story. That story is that I have a tiller that doesn't work, and I have ordered another tiller, which is on back order. So I was hoping that I would be able to turn this ground with the help of oil, which is fantastic. And instead I am turning it by hand, which is a lot of work. I mean, it's if I had no day job, it would also be fantastic, and I would do, 3 times this much in a day, and my back would be very happy by the end of it. It's never happy the first couple days. Well, enough that I need to take an ibuprofen before bed after a full day of something like this. But here we are. So I had put my fava beans to soak because I thought I was going to get the tiller a couple days ago. And you can see they're sprouting. They really shouldn't sprout all the way like this before they're planted. But turns out I couldn't get the tiller, and had to do some other yard stuff. So here we are with the not entirely ideal sprouted favas. So you can see, like this one, the end of the root is black, so hopefully it can put more roots out. This one's fine. It has just a regular root tip. And you're gonna see there's there we go. There's quite a variety of favas in here. There's some very large ones, like this one. There's some quite small ones, like this one. And that's deliberate. Favas, they interbreed really easily. They get cross-pollinated about 10 to 30%, something like that. And so if I put all of these together, they'll mix it all up. And next year I'll have a bunch of different stuff. The year after that I'll have a bunch of different stuff. And the best combinations of genes will theoretically produce the most seeds. I'll go through and look at which plants are the happiest plants, and I'll flag those ones, and I will save the most seed from those plants. And I'll save a little bit of seed from all the rest of the plants, because there might be genes hiding in there that are really useful for a different type of year. So if I have a really hot year, a really dry year, I don't want to only save seed for that year. I want to save seed for the next year, which might be cold and wet. So save a little bit of everything, but mix it up, keep mixing it up. Get different combinations, and therefore get resiliency. So this is a mix of a lot of different fava beans, which are, some of them are seeds that I saved last year. Some of them are seed that I got from a bunch of different places, many of which are themselves mixes. You can see, just if I just reach in and pick up a handful of seed, I get ones that are very similar because the similar size ones tend to sort together. So I'm trying to reach in and get some of the smaller ones too, some of the different colored ones too, make sure they all get mixed up in here. So why am I planting fava beans at all? They're a protein source. My pig feed that I buy actually right now it has fava beans as a protein source. And unlike a lot of other beans, they like cool weather. A lot of people will plant their favas in the fall and they'll overwinter them just outside in the ground as little baby plants. And so by spring, they'll already be, high. By this time of year, they'll already be a couple feet high and flowering. Obviously, I didn't do that. I don't know if they'll overwinter here. It is pretty cold, but we also have a lot of snow that's an insulator. So I will do a test patch this winter. Other people plant them early spring, as soon as the ground can be worked. Which is to say, as soon as it's not frozen and it's no longer straight up mud. And that's what I was hoping to do. But everything has got away from me, as usual. I'm not too late for planting my corn, so that's good. We have maybe, I would say, a week and a half before I'm sure there's not going to be a last frost. We may have had our last frost last night. But anyhow, fava is good protein and they grow in cool weather, which most beans don't. Most beans need from anywhere between a little bit of warm weather to a lot of warm weather, which obviously up here in the north we don't have. We don't have anything approaching the kind of accumulation of heat that they need. These are all the same color in this row. Don't know how I feel about that. I think I'm a little bit sad about it. Another thing about fava beans is because they're so large, they're easy to plant, as you see. I could just put these mattock rows in. I don't have to have a super fine seed bed, which is what they call the seed bed is where you put the seed. Like for a tiny seed, you don't want it to get overwhelmed, so you might like go over it, and so there are none of these clumps here. But do not need to do anything fancy for favas like that. Planting is my favorite. It's my favorite part of gardening, even more than harvesting. So I had originally been going to plant these favas mixed in with barley, which is another, it's an early grain. So you would plant barley again very early on in the year, but it might be too late to plant barley now. And I had already put the favas to soak, so I couldn't change my garden plans. I would be losing all of the seed that I had collected from very many different places, some of which I had saved from last year, if I were to decide not to plant after soaking them so much. But, I love the color of that one. Look at that. Look at that. Anyhow, but I hadn't put the barley to soak yet. So I think it might be no barley this year. I think I might plant only some wheat, which can be planted a little later and do okay. Maybe. We'll see. It's a lot of experimenting because this is not a place, oh, that one's huge. This is not a place where there's a lot of information on how to grow things. It's far enough north that they just basically, if you look it up, they'll say, no, you can't grow anything there. Oh my goodness, look at the size of this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, you better grow. I'm really interested in you. I suspect that one is, I'm gonna garble the pronunciation. Aprovocho Select from Adaptive Seeds. So yeah, a bunch of these I grew and saved last year from a mix and from some Russian Black was the other variety. So Lofthouse Landrace mix and Russian Black. And in here I've added lots of different ones, including mixes like Montana Rainbow. Shoot. There's a famous fava breeder whose name I cannot remember. And he did a bunch, including that Aprovocho Select. So here you can see I'm covering these quite deeply. They're getting, an inch or two of this soil. And this soil is, much to my surprise, is sandy. The soil down here in the pig winter field, that's where I did my tomato trial last year. That soil is clay, and this soil is sandy. And I've heard rumors this may have once been a riding ring, so that might be why. It's also probably why it's so level. And sandy soil has very different characteristics from clay soil. It doesn't hold water as well, which might be a problem actually up here. Fava is like water. Corn likes water. I'm planting a bunch of corn. Corn needs to be far away from other kinds of corn. So, there's going to be corn here. There's going to be corn here. There's going to be corn down there. And if you look like at that one tree there, by the base of that tree, there's going to be corn as well. And also squash, but yeah, we'll see how it does in the different soils. I'm thinking about planting the same corn in a couple different places just to see how the place affects it, because if it's the same type of corn planted in different places, then you can compare, whereas if it's different kinds of corn planted in different places, you don't know the difference. However, the problem with that is that then my corn won't be far away from my other corn and it'll all cross-pollinate. So we'll see. Still working out the kinks of my garden design here. In the meantime, I'm going to finish planting this. There are a lot of crows. I don't know. You can probably hear them behind me. A lot of crows, a lot of ravens, and I may take those. There's a piece of polycarbonate, clear polycarbonate, and a piece of roofing metal, and I might put those over this for a couple days just to let these get settled in better. And then maybe they won't be eaten by crows. If the crows decide that favas are nice, I don't know whether they like them even. Nice bean sprouts for the birds. But yeah, this is more work than I was expecting because I don't have my tiller, and it also lets me get, more intimately acquainted with the soil to dig it. It's different than to push a tiller through it and then put your hands in it. But at the same time, as you can imagine, that I can't dig all of this. The pigs are going to the back shortly, so I get my tomato field back as well. So yeah, that's my morning. Fava beans, mattock, some tea. And I'm trying to get this done early. You can see, okay, so this is south. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun is up there somewhere. I can't even see it. This place gets a lot of sun, and yesterday was quite warm for the north. So I'm trying to get this done in the morning, and then I'll probably come out in the evening and do a little more. Because I just don't want to be working during the heat of the day. Always try and think through what the future is gonna look like, so you can make it be what you want. Anyhow, thought I would give you an update. I'm gonna keep giving you updates if I can as I plant things, because I love this. I like planting things, and I want to share that with you. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and I will talk to you next time.